over a span of 300 years. The assassins were responsible for the deaths of 3 caliphs, along with hundreds of rulers in Jerusalem, and Muslim and Christian leaders. Greetings everyone. Today, we will take an in-depth look at the life of Hassan Sabbagh, the founder of the legendary Assassins cult. This group left an indelible mark on history, inspiring fear. If you find this video interesting, please support us by hitting the like button. Now, let's get started. The Assassins originated in what is now Iran, in the fortress of Alamet in the northern Alborz Mountains, and were active in Iran, Egypt, Iraq, and Palestine from the 11th to 13th centuries, making them a notorious organization widely known in Europe as well as the Middle East. The Italian merchant traveler Marco Polo's Travels in the East also contains references to the Assassins. Interestingly, the Assassins are very closely associated with religion. This cult of assassins was a congregation of the Nizar sect, a further derivative of the Ismaili sect, a branch of Shia Islam. Hassan Sabbagh was the founder of the Assassins within this Nizarist hierarchy. Hassan Sabbagh was born in 1050 in the western Persian city of Qum. Qum was a holy city of the Shiite sect of Islam, and Hassan's family were also adherents of the Syrian sect. To provide some context on Islamic sects, Islam experienced a division into 2 major sects after the demise of its founder, Muhammad, due to disagreements over his successor. The Sunni sect emphasizes the understanding of the teachings left by Muhammad, and insists that new leaders should be elected, while the Shia sect emphasizes bloodline succession and insists that only Muhammad's lineage can be the leader. Sunni and Shia remain the leading sects of Islam today, and the differences are clear. If Sunni religious leaders simply preside over worship, Shiite religious leaders are considered supreme leaders of the state with political and judicial authority, and are considered deified beings. Currently, about 85% of Muslims are Sunni. Returning to the main topic, Hassan's family were adherents of the Twelver Shia sect, a mainstream branch of Shia Islam, which is considered a minority group, moved to Ray, a city in the south of present-day Tehran, Iran, when Hassan was 7 years old. Under the influence of the missionary work of the Ismailis, Hassan converted from the 12 Imams to the Ismailis at the age of 17. Ismailism, the second largest branch of Shi'ism, emerged after the death of the 6th Shiite leader, and at the same time, his eldest son, Muhammad ibn Ismail, became the 7th leader. A very scholarly man, Hassan devoted himself to the study of Ismailite doctrine, as well as metaphysics, philosophy, astronomy, mathematics, and languages while living in Ray. Soon Hassan became respected by the Ismailites, so much so that he was appointed deputy missionary by the chief missionary, who advised him to study the doctrines in Cairo, where the Fatimid dynasty founded by the Ismailites was located. Then, in 1076, Hassan left Ray because of religious oppression. Although he did not go to Cairo, at the time, the Persian region was ruled by the Seljuk dynasty, which strongly supported the Sunni state religion. Naturally, Shiites were treated as heretics, and Hassan, a member of the Ismaili sect and an important figure, was in danger. After leaving Ray, Hassan traveled to Isfahan in Persia, Iraq, Damascus in Syria, and Palestine, arriving in Cairo, Egypt, about 2 years later, in August 1078. Hassan stayed in Egypt for about 3 years while continuing his studies and focusing on spreading Islam as a missionary. However, Egypt too was embroiled in turmoil. The Fatimid dynasty was experiencing a factional struggle over succession. Hassan supported Nizar, the eldest son of the reigning king, and consequently found himself imprisoned by the rival faction. But as luck would have it, he was released in an incident in which a prison spire collapsed. And after a series of twists and turns, he returned to Isfahan in Persia in 1081. As explained earlier, Persia was not a safe region for Shiites, and Hassan campaigned throughout Persia, visiting all over the country. Facing relentless persecution and oppression, Hassan was compelled to flee, seeking refuge in the fortress of Alamet, situated in the Alborz Mountains in present-day northern Iran. Alamet means eagle's nest, and this fortress served as a strategic point. overlooking the Caspian Sea coast to the north and Baghdad to the southwest. Over the next 2 years, Hassan quietly and cunningly carried out his missionary work, capturing the inhabitants and soldiers living in the vicinity and expanding his power, and in 1090, he and his followers took over the fortress of Alamet, and established an elite cult of assassins based in the fortress. This assassination cult was the Assassins. Hassan regarded the followers of the Nizar sect, a subdivision of the Ismaili sect, as important members of the Assassins. Why, by the way, did Hassan suddenly create a cult of assassins? To eliminate influential enemies, and to expand his own power in the Islamic world. The Nizar sect was originally a group of intellectuals with expertise in medicine and science. But they were outraged by the repeated oppression of the Shiites, and decided to take up armed struggle. Hassan trained his assassins with strict rules and drills, teaching them not only assassination techniques but also science, philosophy, mathematics, and various other studies and languages to make them the best candidates for assassination. They are like spy agents today. Members of the Assassins were ranked on the basis of knowledge, reliability, and courage, and swore absolute obedience and loyalty to the top. The Assassins' top target was the Seljuk vizier Nizar al-Mulk, who had suppressed their old religious Shia sect. The Assassins gained notoriety swiftly, following their successful assassination of Nizar al-Mulk, who had established the zenith of the Seljuk dynasty. As an elite organization, the Assassins were at a distinct disadvantage in a large-scale war, so they opted for covert and strategic methods to weaken their opponents. They chose to target the big, influential players. The Assassins strategically executed their missions in crowded places, instilling fear and making a public statement of their presence and resolve. Therefore, the members of the Assassins were often killed upon completion of their missions. But their missions were more important than their own lives. The Assassins then steadily expanded their power, securing bases throughout the Middle East. Hassan died in 1124, but the Assassins maintained their reputation into the 13th century. Over the course of nearly 300 years, the Assassins assassinated 3 caliphs and hundreds more, including Jerusalem's rulers, Muslims, and Christian leaders. Saladin, a revered Islamic hero, was also targeted 3 times by the Assassins, eventually signing a non-aggression pact with them. It is recorded that many rulers feared the Assassins, and wore armor under their ceremonial dress. The Mongol Empire, however, stood as a formidable power that did not fear the Assassins. Known for their strength and ruthlessness, the Mongols invaded Persia in the mid-13th century. Assassins tried to assassinate a Mongol commander who had conquered Baghdad. But this may have been an inspiration for the Mongols, who vigorously conquered Assassins' fortresses, one after another, and in 1256, felled the fortress of Alamet, once deemed impregnable. Their methods, noted for extreme ruthlessness, led to the annihilation of their Syrian-based faction in 1273, and the subsequent obliteration of the Assassins. However, the Nizar sect persisted as a branch of the Shiite sect. Today, Aga Khan IV is the 49th leader of the Nizar sect, leading some 15 million followers. Interestingly, the Nizar faction, once known as the Assassins, now operates in stark contrast to its ancestors, focusing on principles and objectives related to philanthropy and development. Today, the Aga Khan IV is a philanthropist, running the Aga Khan Development Network, an international nonprofit organization that helps the world's extreme poor in a variety of areas, including education, finance, insurance, and development. The Aga Khan holds that diversity is not divisive, but inspirational, and that the development of pluralism is a key element in building peaceful and progressive societies. Hassan Sabbagh was a scholar, missionary, religious leader, and founder of an assassination cult. He did not make the Nizar sect mainstream Islam, but it is amazing that centuries later, it is still carried on and preserved in the culture of religion or assassins. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content. Take care and see you in the next video. Goodbye.